Today's video is going to be about a sensitive topic, so this is your trigger warning. This video, we're going to be talking about the Sarco Pods. There has been a recent article of a woman who used this Sarco Pod to end her own life voluntarily in Switzerland. I'll put a picture up of what the pod looks like right here. And these have been developed near or around Switzerland by people who are advocate for being able to end your own life voluntarily if you choose. Medical aid in dying in Switzerland is legal if you do it a certain way. However, these pods are still currently not legal in Switzerland. This came to news because a woman from the Midwest traveled to Switzerland. They 3D printed this Sarco pod and placed it in the woods in Switzerland. And the woman did use this pod to end her own life. Now, the people who were involved in this, who got this picture, who were there to witness her doing this, have all been arrested. So this Sarco Pod has been developed, and how it works is the person gets inside and there is a button to push, which will inject the pod with nitrogen, which does make you fall asleep, and then does quickly and painlessly end your life. So like I said before, in Switzerland, people can travel. Anyone from all over the world could travel to Switzerland and use their medical aid in dying programs that they have set up there if they have enough money, basically. But this particular way of doing it, using these Sarco pods, is not a legal way, at least not yet. Hence why people have gotten in trouble for providing this for someone, because this is not a legal way to do this in Switzerland. What I mostly want to talk about in this video is that Switzerland does provide a legal way for someone to end their own life if you choose to in Switzerland. I've talked about before how in the US and 11 different states, we do have medical aid in dying that is legal here in the States, where people can obtain medicine, take it to end their own life if they meet criteria. And that criteria is pretty strict. They have to have less than 6 months to live. They have to be physically able to take the medication. They have to be mentally stable to take the medication. So there's things you have to go through, hoops you have to jump through to get this medication in the United States. And most people cannot just travel across state borders, get the medication and go back home. You have to really prove that this is a state that you live in and reside in. Now, Canada, it's a little different. They have medical aid in dying there where physicians can actually inject the medication into you and end your own life if you meet criteria. And again, Switzerland's also different. So the reason why I bring up Switzerland is because anyone can go there. So if you have enough money, you can go to one of their clinics, you can fly to Switzerland, you can get approved for this process. Of course, you do have to meet criteria, but it is more lenient over there, and they will give you medicine to end your own life. So how does this impact our conversations around death and dying? And why does this make so many people angry? This is an opinionated topic. Not everyone believes this should be allowed. Personally, I want people to know that these places exist. Whether I believe it's right or wrong does not matter. What I want people to have is autonomy over their body. I do believe in Switzerland in particular, where anyone could go to do this if they had enough money. You still have to meet some kind of criteria. You don't technically need to be terminal from what I hear, but you still need to meet some kind of criteria in order to be able to do this. And then of course, you need to have money. You need to have money to be able to do it. It costs money. I do feel that is unfair. I understand it. However, I do feel like that is unfair. Basically, in order to be able to do things you want to do, you do have to have X amount of money for that to happen. So it feels a little transactional for something that is like healthcare. What I think is important about this video is that people know that there are people out there that put their whole life and career, they dedicate their whole entire life and career, put everything they have on the line to support things like this. There are whole groups in Switzerland and the Netherlands and in Canada and in the US that support death with dignity, that support having bodily autonomy over yourself and being able to choose the right to die when you're going through something. There's usually a medical issue involved. There's usually pain involved, symptoms involved, a disease involved that you don't want to keep living this way. And there's whole groups are dedicated to people like that to help you find a dignified way to end your own life if you choose. Because it's such a controversial topic, those people are not often agreed with or have whole groups of people that are against them, and they still push through and try to make things legal, try to develop more peaceful ways to die. And I think, coming from a hospice nurse perspective, that is amazing. And it takes a lot of courage and a lot of heart and a lot of empathy, I think, to continue that work and to develop things like this, as controversial as that might seem. To talk about the Sarco Pod and how it works, to me personally, I don't know if I would be able to do it, nor would I like it. It feels a little claustrophobic to me if you look at it. However, there is like that glass, the top of it, and they did put it in the forest, so all you would see is trees. Supposedly, there is a button in the Sarco Pod that says, if you want to die, press this button. The machine will actually talk to you and say that. You press the button and it basically puts you to sleep by filling it with nitrogen. It is historically known to be a very, very peaceful way to die. So people who actually witnessed this person doing this, the Midwestern American woman in Switzerland using this illegal pod to end her own life, the people who were there to witness it did say she experienced a very peaceful death. However, like I said before, these pods are still illegal there, so all the people there documenting this did get arrested. We're not sure what's going to happen, but they were willing to do this. They believed in it so much that they knew this was illegal. They knew they would get in trouble, and they all were willing to be there for this woman and for the cause because they believe in it so much.